Here is your paragraph rewritten with correct grammar and no stars and no commas in the paragraph. In Iowa, where large alligator farms supply skins and meat to the market, a historic flood occurred in May 2023. The floodwaters caused significant damage to the infrastructure of these farms, leading to the escape of hundreds of alligators. These reptiles were swept into nearby rivers and lakes, creating a sudden and unexpected challenge for local wildlife authorities. The influx of non-native alligators into the local ecosystem posed risks to native species and raised concerns about the potential spread of the alligator population in the area. This situation highlights the unintended consequences of extreme weather events on both agriculture and local wildlife management. The situation escalated in early June when a group of locals, while enjoying a boat trip on Lakesville, was suddenly attacked by one of the escaped alligators. The alligator, likely disoriented after being displaced by the flood, approached the boat and attacked. Fortunately, the group was able to defend themselves using paddles and other objects and managed to drive the animal away. They quickly returned to shore, shaken but unharmed. This incident sparked growing concerns about the presence of non-native alligators in local waterways and the potential risk they pose to public safety. It also intensified calls for more effective wildlife management strategies in response to the flood aftermath. Subsequently, authorities recorded additional alligator attacks with total damages amounting to $20,000. These incidents involved both property damage and a growing number of close encounters and highlighted the serious dangers posed by the escaped alligators. The situation caused widespread concern within the community, especially as more people ventured into local waters for recreational activities. In response, there were urgent discussions among local officials, wildlife experts, and the public about implementing stronger safety measures and more effective wildlife prevention strategies. Plans to capture and relocate the alligators, as well as to reinforce the flood-damaged farms, became key priorities to prevent further attacks and reduce risks to humans. To address the issue of escaped alligators, the state government of Iowa, in collaboration with the Iowa Wildlife Conservation Fund, implemented a set of regulations aimed at managing the alligator population. These policies include close monitoring of alligator activity across affected regions to track movement and assess risk. Controlled hunting zones were established in specific areas to reduce the number of alligators in the wild. The state also introduced financial incentives for farmers whose farms were affected by the flood by offering compensation to support their involvement in the management and relocation of the alligators. These measures aim to balance community safety with wildlife conservation goals. Here is your paragraph rewritten with correct grammar and no stars and no commas in the paragraph. Hunters are required to fulfill certain criteria. They must possess a valid hunting license, which requires passing both a written exam and a practical skills evaluation. In addition, they must obtain a permit for designated hunting zones, provide proof of insurance, and pass a background check to confirm there are no prior wildlife-related offenses. Failure to comply with these regulations can lead to serious consequences such as fines reaching $55,000 and the possible loss of hunting rights. Alligator hunters have a crucial responsibility to follow state regulations. They are required to accurately document the number of alligators they capture and ensure their actions do not negatively impact the environment. Hunters must also maintain their equipment properly and prioritize the safety of themselves and others during hunts. Between 2020 and 2022, the alligator population declined from 4,000 to 2,000. Successful alligator hunting demands specialized expertise because these animals are powerful predators. Hunters must be skilled in tracking and identifying alligator signs and must also have detailed knowledge of their behavior and habitat. This knowledge allows hunters to approach alligators efficiently and safely. Alligator hunts can last 8 to 12 hours and often take place in difficult environmental conditions, so hunters must be physically strong and resilient. In Iowa, the use of firearms for alligator hunting is heavily regulated to promote safety and ethical practices. Hunters often use Winchester .308 rifles or 12-gauge shotguns, which provide accuracy from a safe distance. Firearms are issued for the duration of the hunting season and must be returned once the season ends. Night hunting is strictly prohibited because low visibility increases the risk of accidents and loss of control. To ensure safety, hunting licenses are only valid during daylight hours. Beyond hunting traps are also used to capture alligators, which helps reduce the population and supports official control strategies. However, this practice has created strong controversy, particularly among animal rights groups who consider these methods inhumane and harmful to natural ecosystems. These organizations advocate for more humane, non-lethal alternatives. There are also concerns that alligator hunting may encourage illegal trafficking of skins. After watching the video, viewers are asked to share their opinion by leaving comment. Comment 1 if you support hunting with firearms, or 2 if you prefer using traps. Stay tuned for more videos on invasive species, and feel free to share better solutions in the comments. Do not forget to like, share, and subscribe, and also share the video with friends. Hello everyone, I have arrived at a fishing village in the Faroe Islands where traditional whale hunting still takes place. We were uncertain how the locals would react to our presence because of the sensitive nature of this practice. Some images may be distressing as they show the realities of whale hunting in this region. This tradition has existed for centuries, and our goal is to present a respectful and informative look while recognizing the different views that surround it. Here is your paragraph rewritten with correct grammar and no stars and no commas in the paragraph. As far as I know, the Faroe Islands are located in the North Atlantic and are nestled between Scotland, Norway, and Iceland with a population of just over 50,000 people. I arrived in the capital Tórshavn, where I had the opportunity to meet locals and gain a deeper understanding of whale hunting and practices that have been part of their culture for centuries. The people here are proud of their traditions, and by speaking with them I have hoped to better understand both the historical and modern significance of whale hunting in the Faroe Islands. Right before everything began, there was a noticeable quietness, yet a sense of anticipation filled the air as everyone prepared for what was to come. Participants were getting ready and discussing where they would go and how they would proceed. It was a moment of calm before the action. During this time, I also met Jens Mortensen, a local fisherman, who shared his insights into the whale hunting tradition. Jens has been involved in the practice for many years, and his perspective provided a deeper understanding of how important this activity is to the local community and culture. He believes that whale hunting is an essential part of both livelihood and tradition in the Faroe Islands. He compares it to the processing of pigs or cattle, which is common in many parts of the world but does not face the same level of criticism. He explains that whale meat is a staple food for the local community and provides sustenance to many families. According to him, this tradition has deep historical roots and has been practiced for centuries. In the past, whale hunting was even considered a gift from God, especially during hard times when food was scarce, and it became a crucial part of survival. Since ancient times, the sea has been the primary source of sustenance for the islanders, and they have learned to use what nature provides, including the pods of whales that pass through these waters each summer. During periods of hardship, whales supplied enough meat and fat to support entire villages through harsh winters. This practice is not only about hunting, but also represents resilience, unity, and survival. It strengthens a connection to both land and sea and reinforces a strong sense of identity within the community. However, this tradition has received strong criticism from international organizations such as Sea Shepherd, who claim that it is cruel and threatens whale populations. These groups raise serious ethical concerns about killing intelligent animals. For the people of the Faroe Islands, however, whale hunting is not just a ritual but an important part of cultural identity that has been passed down through generations. Even as global debates continue, many islanders believe that this tradition is essential to preserving their heritage and way of life. Here is your paragraph rewritten with correct grammar and no stars and no commas in the paragraph. The deep connection to tradition drives the local people to continue whale hunting despite growing criticism and outside pressure. This is a traditional whale hunting knife or tool that has been passed down for generations and holds great cultural value. It is not only used for hunting but also represents the heritage of the community. However, there's uncertainty about the future. As global attitudes change and regulations become stricter, these knives may no longer be allowed to be used, which could mark the end of a long-standing tradition that has shaped the identity of the Faroe Islands people. I often visit this place with large tourist groups, and I am aware that these are the tools used for whale hunting. The locals usually hunt by combining nets and harpoons. They use a hook to reach the whale's body and a rope to pull it out of the sea. This method is intended to kill the whale more quickly and in a more controlled way than using knives alone. These tools are meant to reduce unnecessary suffering and reflect the community effort to carry out the practice in a more organized way despite ongoing controversy. Professional fishermen in the Faroe Islands are so experienced that they can bring down a whale in only 2 seconds. This level of efficiency shows their expertise in hunting. Processing whale meat is not only a daily activity but also a source of pride for the locals. Every day, large amounts of whale meat are processed to provide food for the community. This practice plays an important role in local cuisine, where whale meat is a key part of traditional dishes. It is deeply connected to daily life and to the relationship between the islanders and the sea. Workers usually earn around $20 to $30 per hour for processing whale meat. This work requires great care and skill. The process involves cutting the meat thoroughly, cleaning it, and salting it to preserve it. This allows the meat to be stored for long periods. The act of processing whale meat is not only about food, but also about preserving an important part of Faroese culture that continues to be passed from generation to generation. I will also mention the issue of mercury in whale meat, which is a growing concern. Most people are aware of the health risks linked to consuming whale meat because of its high mercury content. A study from 2014 showed that nearly everyone knows the medical advice to avoid eating it, yet many still choose to do so. While not everyone ignores these warnings, young women in particular are advised to be cautious because mercury can affect reproductive health. The presence of mercury in whale meat causes long-term health risks, and even with this awareness, the cultural importance of the meat has led many people to continue eating it.